What's up, YouTube friends and everyone else? Eli here. I'm here to record a collection update today. I got quite a bit of shit. I have a package coming. I have, another order here. And then I have a bunch of shit I bought from a couple local shops. So I'm going to break it up into like 3 videos instead of just making one long video and just blowing my whole load on that. Yeah, man, I kind of went on a spree. You know how it goes. Once you start, it's really hard to stop. The last month or two, I've been kind of really limiting myself intentionally, and it was working. But you know, it's kind of like a volcano or something. The longer it doesn't erupt, when it does, it's gonna get you. Call that the wallet volcano or something. But anyways, I got like that one vinyl record and a decent stack of CDs. Got my like assistant coffee here. I woke up in a really good mood today, but still, man, you gotta hit that coffee first thing. Who knows, that good mood will fucking... Got Louie in the background. He's on my bed over here chewing a bunch of shit, being Louie. He says hello as well. So let's get started. Put my coffee down. I don't want to. I wish I had 3 arms. All right. Here is said vinyl record. I dropped it. This is something that I did not expect to find in one of my local shops ever, to be honest. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, gotta have that. Also, I should point out that I'd been aware of this band for years. I'd known the name. I'd never actually heard the music, so I bought it on a whim, knowing where this band came from and hoping that I would like it. And I've spun it once so far, and I do like it. It's really good. We have Quartz, Against All Odds. Vinyl picture disc, as you can see. This is an original pressing from '83. In 1983, a label called Heavy Metal Records put out 2 versions of this album. They put out a regular black vinyl and a picture disc. So yeah, I was really shocked to find this. Quartz are let's go ahead and describe them a little bit. New World of British heavy metal band. At least they come from that era, and I guess that's how they're classified. They do have that sound, the New World of British heavy metal sound. They don't necessarily sound like Iron Maiden or anything like that. They have maybe a little touch of classic rock, like maybe something like early Rainbow. A little bit of AOR sound in there, just a little bit in like some of the choruses. This does not sound like fucking Foreigner or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't sound like REO Speedwagon or some shit. This is definitely metal, but just with a little bit of some rockin' metal. So you old school guys, if you don't know this band, it's definitely something you'll dig. Absolutely. I doubt he watches my channel, but somebody like Scott Waters, I would bet everything that I own that he has this record and that he digs it. So if that tells you anything, you might want to check it out for yourself. Because someone is going to ask, and I don't want to feel retarded for not remembering. In the background here, we're listening to Lotus of Darkness, black metal from Thailand. This EP, this EP is entitled Wheel of Sodomy. Don't know what that is, but it sounds brutal, right? You can get their newest release from a label called Von Frost Records, which I highly recommend you check into that. I actually haven't ordered yet from Von Frost. Probably the next order I make will be from them. I had followed this guy. He's had a blog for years. Some of you might have seen in Von Frost blog. Great, man. This guy is just a encyclopedia of heavy metal, and this guy is a true underground warrior in every way. So yeah, go look him up, man. I mean, this guy, he puts out, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, I believe he puts out only tapes. I don't think he puts out anything else, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. He might do vinyl. I'm not sure, but he does a fucking lot of cassettes. So yeah, don't quote me on that. If you're not a fan of cassettes, don't write that label off. Go check it out for yourself. But I know he does a lot of cassettes. Yeah, I'm gonna place an order soon because this guy just kills it with releases. I don't know a whole lot about Lotus of Darkness. I do know that it has 2 members of a death doom band from Thailand called Shambles, who are really good. Look into them, man. They deserve more attention, I believe. They have a full-length out that came out, I think, last year on Nero 1. Go get it. They put it out on vinyl for sure. I don't know if they've put it out on any other formats, but look into it. At least go to Bandcamp or whatever and listen to it. It's killer. I'm a big Death Doom fan, and it did a lot for me. It's brutal. It's slow and heavy, crushing. All right, let's move on to the CDs. I basically bought these from 2 different shops over the last couple weeks, mostly from one, but it doesn't matter. You guys don't know these places anyways. First one, I own this album, but I have like a special anniversary edition or something, and this is the original pressing, so I had to go buy something that I already have to have it again. I don't know why. This is possibly my favorite thrash album of all time, so that could be why. Flotsam and Jetsam, Doomday for the Deceiver, classic American thrash. I absolutely fucking love this record. I don't know how I could put it into words. Most of you should know Flotsam and Jetsam. All of you should. Blah Blah Blah's Jason Newsted, his band before Metallica. He jumped ship shortly after that first. That's their debut, if I did say that. He jumped ship shortly after that. Joined Metallica. Probably like a year, maybe less. Fuck, I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. That was his band. Great stuff. Some of my favorite vocals in metal ever laid down to tape. It's so catchy and so good. The musicianship's great. Everything is. For me, it's a near flawless album. It's great. So, other than that, I picked up another Flotsam album, their second album, No Place for Disgrace. I did not previously own this, oddly enough. I do like this album. I love it, in fact. I don't know. Most people think that it's better than their debut, but I disagree. I just do. There's something about that debut that's just, for me, is a step up above this one. I don't know. I think it's got a little bit more of a youthful charm. I think they were a little bit better songwriters by the time this came out. Maybe slightly better musicians as well, but yeah, I don't know. It's the first one that does it for me. Alright, so yeah, really happy to have both of those. I have the newest Cradle of Filth album. Let's get close, huh? Check out that artwork. Cryptoriana, The Seductiveness of Decay. Brr, sound retarded. I think I probably am, just nobody ever told me. I've listened to this album twice, and man, I like it. It's really good, I think. I think it takes me a while to really, really, really digest something and form an opinion. I definitely like it. I definitely think it's good. I'm trying to compare it to Hammer of the Witches, and because I liked Hammer of the Witches, I might like this more. I'm going to have to go back. Now that I've listened to this twice, I'll probably give it one more spin, and then I'll probably bust out Hammer of Witches and then see how they stack up against each other. But so far, I think I might like it more. It definitely sounds like early. It's kind of a return to form as Hammer of Witches. This might even be more of a return to form. I mean, this one, for me, this has like Dusk and Her Embrace and Cruelty and the Beast kind of written all over it. Maybe that's just me. How do you guys feel? Yeah, really cool. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to say cheesy, but I find it cool. I like that cover art. It's just very cool, gothic, Victorian. I like it. Fuck. Check that out. It's like a gothic Victorian Lovecraft scene. It's great. It's awesome. Love it. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good album. Talked about Cradle of Filth. I was listening to this in my last video, and so I'm not going to rant on them again, but I like them. I mean, they were one of the bands that, I think they were the band that got me into black metal, so they were definitely a gateway for me, and I still, love them or hate them, I still find some of their earlier works to be pretty good, so doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what anyone thinks, really. Hey, if someone hates them, I understand. If they like them, I also understand. That's where it ends. Next, we also have the newest, it's quite new actually, Queens of the Stone Age album, titled Villains. Really like that cover art. This is probably my favorite cover art they've ever done, because often their cover art is really nothing, kind of sucks. That's a slip cover anyways. Underneath you got this, which is also pretty cool. I love Queens of the Stone Age. I've said for years and years now, over a decade at this point, that they are I don't want to say the only good rock band that are out there right now, but they're the only one that I know of. I believe that they are a band that has carried the torch for just good, true rock music. I think they're great at what they do. I was a fan of Caius, love Caius. But anyway, that album, let's get back to it. Let's not get too much off track. You all probably know who Queens of the Stone Age are. I've listened to this thing I think I've listened twice. And I gotta say, it was hard getting even past the first listen. I think I liked it slightly more on the second, but not by much. Because their last album that they put out 5 years ago or so was a masterpiece. Songwriting and lyrics, excellent. Just some fucking fantastic songs to be heard on there. And on this one, and in most things they'd done before that were great too. But this one, man, there's like a song and a half on there that I like, and none of it stacks up to, like, in my mind, none of it stacks up to anything they have done. Right now, I'm going to say I think this is their worst album. As of now, I'm going to call it a flop. I'm still going to give it another listen or two, but it's not going to be anytime real soon because I just don't want to hear it right now. I don't know. If there are any Queens fans out there, let me know how you feel. I know my good buddy who likes the band a lot too. He feels pretty much the same way as I do. Really disappointing after waiting 5 years and getting that. Disappointing. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. Here is an album of a band that I listened to for many, many, many years as well, and I was not disappointed with the new Danzig with Black Laden Crown. Some of the, even for Danzig, that cover art's pretty fucking cheesy, but it's, I'm a fan of comic books, so I don't mind it, but it's cheesy. That is as well. A lot of imagery on this one. Got that, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. I wish I had some hot chick that walked around with a goat. It'd be pretty sweet. Danzig probably does. That's probably just another day in his life. And then in case the shitty digipack falls apart, you got this slip cardboard promo type case on the inside, which is cool also. Yeah, man, this album, I'll be honest, I had heard a snippet, or it might have even been an entire song. I want to say it was released by Nuclear Blast, and it was one of the songs on here, and they released it on YouTube a couple of months before this came out, and I thought it sounded fucking terrible. I don't know if I was hearing incorrectly. I don't know. I don't even remember what song it was, but when I bought this and when I played it, it's a really, really good album. I basically went into this with no expectations. I don't even know why I bought it. I'm a big Danzig fan. Love him. I was expecting it to be a pile of shit train wreck, and it's not, man. It's quite good. For me to go in already expecting to hate an album and then completely liking it, that's pretty impressive. It's very good. I've only listened to it once so far, so I'm not going to go, any song-by-song rundowns or go into it in great depth, but it is a good album, and I'm completely pleased by it. From what I do remember, I will say this. I will say that Danzig played it very smart. I mean, he's a great songwriter, but I will say that he played it vocally very smart. The dude's like 60 years old, and, obviously his voice, if you watch interviews and shit, if you can watch interviews even back into like the mid-90s, maybe even early 90s, his voice was already starting to get raspy. So, he did a really good job at knowing what he can do and not trying to stretch it too far. It just basically, I feel like on that album his voice aged really well, and he just made a really smart move in his vocal performance on that. So, good album. If you like Danzig, let me know how you feel. If you've heard it, I'm completely pleased by it. I love it. It's got a very, I will also say it's got a very, kind of a very doomy, it's a fairly slow burning album, but it's not boring. It's more doomy and kind of, I don't know, it's good. Next, we have, I've heard this album only one time prior to owning this, and I do love this band. So I'm really happy to have it. The debut Electric Wizard album, Rise Above Records, is I want to say a recent re-release, but whatever. Really good album, man. I love this band. I like everything they've ever done. Obviously, it's, you know, the quality varies from release to release, but absolutely love Electric Wizard. Yeah, man. You got the cool Dave Patchett artwork. I believe that's Dave Patchett, right? The guy that did the Cathedral stuff. That's got to be. Nobody else could make that. You obviously have, yeah, you know, they love their marijuana a lot. Yeah. What can I say about it? I've only listened to it once. I've heard everything they've ever done. Most of their stuff I've heard more in depth than this, but it had. There's much more of like an early Black Sabbath vibe on this, as opposed to. I do prefer their later sound, like Witch Cult Today. Unpopular opinion, but that for me that's my favorite album. I really like that sound, that Electric Wizard sound. Slightly different than what they had done previously, but it's good. It sounds more Sabbathy than, and they were doing the Sabbath worship stuff before most people were. So I mean, they've always been ahead of the game in that way. So yeah, very happy to have that. God, I need more coffee. Woke up in a really good mood today for some reason, which is rare for me. I usually wake up wanting to fucking punch a baby, but I still need my coffee. That shit doesn't ever go away. I don't have a baby, by the way, if you're concerned that I might go punch it or something after this. I would punch your baby, though. All right. This is an album that I picked up randomly, and I don't know why, because I'm not a huge fan of this band, minus their first two records. Malevolent Creation with, what the fuck is it called? Manifestation from the mighty, mighty Pavement Records. Oh, Pavement. Where have you gone? I'm just kidding. We all know. You can buy most of their releases for 50 cents or like 10 for $1. But anyways, let's stop making fun of Pavement. Malevolent Creation have mostly always been kind of a second-tier Florida death metal band at best. Sorry if you disagree. I mean, once again, that's just my opinion. But keep listening, because I'm going to say their first two albums are top-tier Florida death metal. Ten Commandments and Retribution are fucking amazing, and they deserve to be placed, you know, among early Morbid Angel and Deicide and Death. They just, for whatever reason, they just, after those two albums, they couldn't keep it going. For what reason? I don't know. I don't know the history too well. But I know that I have their third album also, Stillborn. Stillborn's, let's be honest, it's okay. It's not bad, but it is definitely a step down from those first two releases. It's like they just couldn't keep that flame burning, and I think this is the one that came after Stillborn. This is still pretty good. I think this is on par with Stillborn. This might be better. This is a pretty good album, actually, but yeah, I just felt like, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I just feel like they couldn't keep, they just couldn't stay consistently on that level. I have heard some of their stuff after this, and I mean, I don't think any of it's terrible. I mean, they never turned into like a nu metal band or deathcore or anything. They didn't do that. You know, they stayed true to themselves, their death metal roots. But I don't know. I just felt like they couldn't keep that quality. And a lot of bands can. It's not like they're the first band to not be able to match up live up to their first few releases. I'm not trying to pick on them or anything. Next, I've been buying, and I haven't been listening to a lot of Yes lately, but I've been buying what I can find that I don't already have, because I have all their early stuff. We got Big Generator. This is an 80s album. It's this 87, so late 80s. I've heard of this album. I don't know if I've ever heard anything off it. I certainly haven't heard it as a whole. Don't really know what to expect. I do love that one, I can never remember the title, that one 80s album they did, early 80s, I think, with the numbers, 8902, yeah, you know what I mean, fuck. I really love that album. I love it a lot, so I don't know if this is going to be along the lines of that. I'm really hoping it will be. I hope it's not a dud, but really, I like Yes. I don't think anything they've done I could really hate it, so it should be good to me. And last we have I've heard this album I think twice, and I wasn't a huge fan. It is good in execution. It's not like terribly unmemorable or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. I think it's because of the people that are involved that it's just they can never live up to what they've done in the past. And that is Denner Sherman, Masters of Evil, because they're both masters. Yeah, man. I bought their EP when it came out. I was really looking forward to it. Goddamn, I was psyched. I was like thinking it was going to be a return to Merciful Fate, and that is kind of what they were going for. Absolutely, what they were going for. And it's just, I felt a little let down on that EP, and I think I felt even slightly more let down with this. Once again, they're doing everything right. They are. The musicianship is great. Everything on here is is done well, and nothing about it is particularly bad. But it just doesn't. I don't know. I think it's just because these guys, they started Merciful Fate. I think everything they do, you're gonna fucking compare it to the first two Merciful Fate records, which sucks for them because it's like they can never do anything that that we will appreciate. I don't think they will ever be able to do that, and that sucks. When you set the bar so fucking high, everything else just sounds mediocre. Once again, how do you guys feel about it? I've not seen much talk about this band, this or the EP before it, which leads me to believe, yeah, no one's really going too crazy about it. So, but I bought it anyway because it was used. It was like $6, and like I figured if I have it, that'll give me an excuse to give it more listens and maybe appreciate it a little more. And I'm hoping I do, but I don't expect to. Anyways, let's talk about those albums. I know there are quite a few there that I have kind of controversial opinions about, bands that I have controversial opinions about. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. As always, I shouldn't have to say it. Yeah, your opinions are always welcome. I love talking about music, and it's why I do this. That is literally the only reason why I do this. Basically, I used to talk to a bunch of dudes on Facebook, and that was enough for me. But Facebook, let's be honest, has turned into a fucking dumpster fire. I mean, it is absolutely horrendous, and it's not. And it's humans that have done it. It's not the website itself. Nothing has changed. It's people, man, have just gotten pretty awful. It's hard to, I don't know. Social media is people are, I think, getting kind of over it. It's pretty fucked. I love YouTube though. I gotta say, it might be because my channel's very small. I don't get a ton of viewers or commenters, but the people that comment are amazing. I've had a really good time on here, and this has become pretty much my social media of choice. Facebook can go fuck itself. For me, this is the way to go. So anyways, you guys have a good day. Fuck, I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday. I get days off during the week now, so it's pretty throws me off. After having weekends off for 5 years. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.